exactly, yeah.
He's a violent man.
He's a very violent and obtuse and cruel. I do not try to justify him. I just try to understand the mechanism of such a soul and to show that despite the destruction that he has and that he performs, there are other elements. You know, it's very easy to say he's a bully. He's a machine of murder, kind of a Superman, of a golem. But I want to show that there are other nuances in his behavior, and that the most interesting thing is the clash between these nuances and the superficial surface that we know about Samson.
How do you explain that he falls in love with Delilah? He goes to Gaza, and there he falls in love with this beautiful woman, Delilah. I mean, she's Philistine, right?
Yeah, Delilah actually is the third woman he falls in love with, and they are all Philistines.
It's a story that keeps recurring, but it's an old story, and the theme is big man, beautiful woman, bad deal, right?
Probably she was irresistible. That's why she was chosen, I guess. And the Philistines come to her and they tell her, tempt him and find what is his secret, what is the essence of his strength. And probably everyone involved in this little scene felt that she is irresistible, that she will do to him what previous women failed to do, that she will make him full of desire to give himself away to her.
Why did he tell her his secret?
Because he loved her. In a strange way, she is the first woman that he really loved. When it came to other women in his life, the word love was never said explicitly. With her, it's the first time that we read Samson loved a woman. And love means, I believe, to give all the keys of your soul to a certain individual. To hope that this individual will love you not only because of what you are, but sometimes in spite of what you are. Samson desperately needs one soul to reveal himself in front of her.
He says, I believe in the ancient Hebrew, he talks about telling her from his heart of hearts.
All his heart of hearts. He gave her the essence of his life. He gave her his secret. 3 times he was aware of her manipulation. 3 times she asks him, what is the essence, what is the secret of your strength? And he tells her all kinds of stories. Each time he opens his eyes, and I am sure he saw the assassin sitting or standing there behind the curtain. I mean, it's so obvious that she wanted to kill him. And yet he continues to tell her hints about his strength. I believe because he wanted to believe that next time he opens his eyes, he will see only Delilah, without the assassin, without the foreign presence, without the hostility of the Philistines that is radiated into this room. He just wanted to be loved simply. Maybe not as a hero, just as a human being. Maybe he just wanted one simple thing, to be like any other person.
What does it say that in the last desperate act of a violent life, when he's pulling down the temple, killing everyone in it, his enemies, the innocent, himself, Samson believes he's doing God's will?
Well, probably he is right, according to the storyteller of the biblical story, and to the editor of this story who puts this story in the Bible, and by that legitimized it and gave it the authority of sanctity. He is doing what God wanted of him to do. We know that almost everything that in the life of Samson was meant by God, so it is told to us. It's a horrible deed, of course, but the main goal of Samson, the reason for which he existed and the reason for which he became part of this story, is to fight the Philistines and to liberate the sons of Israel from the tyranny of the Philistines. And by, breaking the whole building on their heads and killing them and himself, he actually believes that he did what God wanted him to do.
Sounds an awful lot like the suicide bombers of 9/11. If you read their diaries, they felt they were doing God's will as they dove those planes into those buildings.
Yes, and I mention in my book that actually he was the first suicide killer, Samson. And I don't know about any other previous example for someone who uses his own body in order to destroy other people's life. And of course, there is something common to all people who are doing something like that. They are acting in an hermetic system of faith.
A hermetic system?
Yes, it's hermetic because it's very difficult to justify it in terms of other systems. And according to their system, they have full justification to do what they are doing. For us, people like me, I assume like yourself, who are out of this system, it looks horrible, it looks so cruel. But they can justify it according to their own terms. This is, I think, one of the most interesting questions. What was the need of us, of the Jews, to have such a hero, such a questionable, such a dubious a hero for us? When you think about the Jews throughout history, you do not necessarily think about someone like Samson.